is there a point where you feel you crossed over the line and moved into a realm that was too risque?
I mean, performance-wise?
Yes.
Yes. I can just say yes.
Yes? More times than you could count, or?
You know what? It's interesting because as I get older, I find out they're not. I thought they were. That comes with you. That's one of those things that you bear. If I think it's dirty, it's going to be dirty. Do you know what I mean? If I think it's over the realm, it's over the realm, you know? Or sometimes, like, I find out later that what I said was, like, way over the edge and sexy. I'm like, that wasn't in my head at all. Like, we were being signed by interpreters, and I love that. I love all of it. And I'm saying a joke, and this woman is doing this in front of her. And later I go up and go, what was that about? She goes, well, obviously it's a reference to masturbation. I went, no, I'm talking about birds. Literally. In my head, I'm talking about birds. But in her head, she was interpreting, as the audience obviously was, which is why they were laughing.
Well, once you get that gesture, it's kind of...
But even this, it made me think about some of the jokes. It's like, oh, there is sexuality here. So, yes, I have gone over, but not too much. And more as a young man. You know, I'm not the kind of guy like people often like when we went into Vegas. We started working in Vegas for a while. One of the things that we did not like, we're on stage, and this is our 5th or 6th club, and we're picking up work. People are seeing us, hiring us for another 15-minute show here. They're not making much money, but we're starting to get into these bars and these small casinos, and we go to this casino, and it's all adult. And they have no microphones. We're having handheld mics with wires on them, and there's only one for us to share. And we're literally backstage listening to everything. And Jose's like, "Oh my God, Doug, you should be singing this song." You know, I mean, it was just a weird vibe to this whole thing. And we went out, and we're doing A material. It's really good. It's family oriented. No laughter, no laughter, no laughter. Jose trips over his wire and goes, "Shit," and they crack up laughing. He says it again. They crack up laughing. He calls me over, and I say the F word. And they crack up laughing. He's like, I don't know why we're bleeping right any bleepy material for guys when all you want to hear is bleeping. And they laughed at the entire thing. And we just swore for the rest of the show. Just swore. And then later went, I don't want to do that. You know, so I'll tell you, the risqueness, the sexuality to me is play. It's play.
It's not like you know where the line is and you're having fun dancing on it.
No,
right.
It's not. I don't know if there is a line. Everybody's very different, you know what I mean? If I went in, it also depends, like you asked about the audiences, it depends on the audience. Like here, if I, to let you know a difference here, like I flash my nipples, I have songs about that, Spanish, you know, the whole thing, which is a funny bit. Because kids learn this music, and I get emails from people saying, thanks, Miguel. Like, and they go, no, it's really cute hearing our little son sing Spanish nipples to us. It's really, I mean, they love it. It's an odd thing. Or the word balubi got into a classroom, and I got an email from a 2nd grade teacher. It's like, thank you, Miguel, for introducing the term balubi to my classroom. And I wrote back and I apologized. And she went, no, seriously, Laura. She goes, they sound like kids. She goes, it's really sweet listening to them talk about balubies, because they're doing the oobies, and suddenly she goes, they sound like kids again. You know, instead of using short, you know, Anglo-Saxon terms. But here, I'll flash, and you know, I don't do it because we don't, you know, drink here. We hang out in pubs, and other friends are allowed to drink or hang out in pubs. I'll flash, and you know, I'll look at someone, and the woman will go, ooh, and I go, yeah, show me yours, I give you $1. In Texas, they're like, give me the buck, Miguel. And they just flashed it and press at me. I stopped doing it because I think after losing $20 in one day, I mean, it's nice, but come on. The bit was getting expensive. What an odd world I live in.
All right, what's the most embarrassing moment that you've had as a performer, or is there a point where you think you probably should have called a Captain Peabody or Forsooth to get away from a situation and it didn't turn out well?
Well, that's really hard. I'm sure there have been some. It's interesting. I don't hold a lot of memory in my head. When a weekend is done, it's gone. And that's an interesting thing about shows, and it's why our shows are adapting at times, because a new term comes in, and if the term lasts 3 shows, then it's in the hard drive. It's in a long-term memory, but I don't dump this information in my head, so I don't remember a lot of stuff. I'm trying to think. I remember, like, blowing lines once. I mean, that really embarrassed me. I remember having fallen really hard in my lower back and cracked a vertebra, and then went and performed, and I'm on so many pain pills that I do this, and I hold the sword. Okay, here's a very embarrassing moment. I just remembered it. I got hit this last week in the lip again.
I heard about that.
Third time in 30 some odd years. Great odds. 10 years ago, about, because we were just going to film Lost Princess the next week. I'm on stage, I'm holding the target this way, and I feel a punch. I took boxing lessons. I feel like somebody just gives me a right hook in the face, but really hard. And it knocks the thing out of my face, and I look at Jose, and he's doing this. He's dropped his whip, and he's not looking at me. I look at the audience, and they're doing this, and I went like this, and my hand was covered in blood, filled with blood, and I went, I have to leave the stage! Just like that, and I go backstage, and I'm looking for something, a cloth, a bandage. There's, we provide this now ourselves, but I don't have any of this backstage there. So I'm swearing a blue streak. I've discovered that time that when I get hit, I am not a runner. I'm getting really mad. I'm not mad at Jose. I'm mad at the fact that I can't find this thing. I'm frustrated. The show has to go on. All I want to do is get back on stage, not bleed. Swear, blah, 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 blah. Every bad word in the world. I finally grab a piece of black velvet, the worst thing I put in my wound, slap it in my face, and I go out and I'm like this backstage. I go outstage to go, hello! And nothing was dead. This woman stands up in the front row, she goes, Miguel, your microphone is on. And they had heard me say this tirade of vulgarity to the audience. And I went like this, I went, no, just did this, I went, no, and she goes, and she turned to the audience, she goes, but we forgive him, don't we? And they all cheered, and they roared, and it was better. I think that was one of the more embarrassing moments in my life, is that I forgot my microphone was on. That's happened a couple times.
It happens.
It happens. But and it was weird, I went to the EMTs, and they wouldn't let me look at it. We didn't have a mirror backstage. But no scar.
No, I can't even tell.
Yeah.
Right. What is the funniest inside joke or backstage prank you were ever a part of amongst the cast?
I am not a practical joke.
No?
No.
Not everyone is.
I'm not. I'm sure there has been one, but I'm not. Work is serious to me. It's kind of weird. My comedy is serious. I don't like being messed with as Miguel. I don't like people touching props or moving anything. To me, that is seriously less than fun. Like,
it's a level of blasphemy, almost?
It's a level of, I never want to work with you again level. Serious. I mean,
Everybody got that?
everybody got that?
Good.
Do not. No, not with each other. Practical jokes, inside jokes are for us. I don't work for me. I work for them. And I'm sure there's been a practical joke or two. But, we had some fun stuff. Like, we did great bits on stage. We had a bloodbath, when the swordsman left Scarborough. That was a great show, and that was really funny, but it was kind
bloodbath?
of, yeah. We had, the swordsmen were leaving Scarborough Fair, and they were on the Crown stage, which we're on there now. We were all the way in the back, where they put Hispanics, was our motto. And we had been there a long time, and we get along very well. It's Doug Muma from the Right. Stuff and his partner. So they're leaving the fair, and the Flaming Idiots are on the stage, and I think they're moving us to that stage the next show, so we don't know. So we take the people from our neighborhood, the Mudbeggars, Jonathan Crocker was one of those people at the time, and Pat Johnson, all these people, that guy, Dr. Kaboom now. We all advanced to the Crown stage at the end of their last show, and we claimed it, and then we had a battle. And we had a bloodbath, like we had our knife-throwing friend, Chris Arnold, at David Epley, who's a mudbagger. He takes his knife and he just slams it into his chest. We had a board set up and a huge blood pack. When we hit him in the chest, it just went gushed with blood. And then as we're stabbing, we have bottles where we have blood packs in our mouth, under our arms, and our pants. One guy gets stabbed and he drops mud out of his pants, becomes incontinent. We have the slow motion dying from Jonathan dies really slow, and and David, Guido, out of the Swordsman, is really funny. because I was always like, well, you make a good manservant. He's like, I'm not a manservant. I'm Guido Crescendo. I'm his equal. I'm like, you're a great sidekick. And we always had this bit between us where I would not accept him not being a sidekick. You know, because Dirk Perfect is perfect. And he's like Don Juan size. So he must be the master. You know? Guido is more Miguel size, so he has to be the sidekick. And at the end, we're killing each other. And he's like, I am not a sidekick. And I'm like, yes, you are. And then we die. So that's probably the biggest. But I'm not a.
That's a great story. That's you made a prank, a sort of game with each other inside, but it became
We
over
shared it
the
with
top
the
and outside with the audience.
Yeah, and we passed the
Yes.
hat and we donated it to a funeral. Somebody had in the community had died. We made like oodles of money, $600. That's a huge hat, and huge, phenomenal huge. And a friend of ours, couldn't had a boyfriend died, couldn't afford the funeral, and we were like, here, community, you know. Yeah. So you will take it out, but I don't. But about like even moving a prop around, people have done that to me, and it blows my mind and it ruins my day. So I don't do that.
All right. What's the most gratifying part of working at festivals for you? I know I'm going to make you pick just one.
You are. Not the Hummer that Jeffrey's going to get. The most gratifying part is dealing with people, getting laughs. That's I just love performance of all types. The minute I'm out here on the street, I'm usually having a good time. I am blessed. It's a blessing. So, being at Renaissance fairs is the most gratifying thing. Frankly, as a patron, I'm not a big fan of them because I don't have the right to do what I do here. You know, I can't go and talk to everybody. That's, I think, the most gratifying thing is that I have carte blanche. In my world, I mean, I have my parameters. Of course, we all do. But I love the working with the kids and making making an old lady smile in a chair smile, or talking to a Down syndrome person and making them feel like me. I just like the human interaction is my favorite part. I love it. At that and the laughs, the applause, you know. But but smiles are applause. A form of applause, you know. A touch on your arm is a form of applause. Little kids running up to me and out of the blue hugging me for whatever, I don't even know who they are. I'm the teddy bear in some ways. Short, brown, fuzzy, no genitals, teddy bears. Makes me safe. As Miguel, I don't have genitals. I got rid of them really early. Now, people who like look at people like, ooh, wow, they're really, in your head, you're all human beings, ooh, wow. I was like, that does not work in this world. It's not a safe thing to do. Because then your character gets, I actually went out with a patron once, this woman, and invited me on a date. She was very beautiful. So I thought, what the hell, I'll go. She could pick me up. And I go up pick me up to the Scarborough Fair at the front gate. So she's like, where's the walk? I'm like, beg your pardon? She went, oh, where's your accent? I was like, oh, this is not going to be fun. It wasn't. It was horrible evening. But
sometimes they don't realize they're hitting on your character and not you.
Yeah. The Facebook world is interesting because I started Facebook before I knew what the hell it was. And so a lot of people call me Doug. They try to come to the fair and call me Doug. I should have started as Miguel. I guess I can figure out how to separate these out. And I tell them Doug is a book, is philosophy. I read. I'm an avid reader. I read all the time. I think ideas. Like a bicycle. Miguel is the party, goofy, silly, sexy, flirty guy. Doug is not. I'm not a flirtatious man. A little shy, actually. Because, for one thing, that's how I that takes a level of energy that it's good to be on when you need to be, and it's good to turn that light on. If you go to a party and you got the gift, it's a nice gift to share. But the party's dull. You don't even have to do anything, you just have to turn on. And things will change, but it's exhausting and kind of rude. I think it's rude in many ways because you're manipulating. I don't know. Am I rambling? I'm rambling!
No, you're not rambling at all. Let's see. Last question would be, if you had any advice for new performers trying to get involved in Renaissance festivals, what would you tell them? You've already told them quite a bit of damn good advice so far.
I think
Cherry on top.
dare to suck.
Doug Bible?
Doug Bible, we got that out of the Sterling Renaissance Festival. He was part of that crew. And by that, take risks. That's your best bet. Take risks. Remember, you're not doing it for yourself. The moment you get you out of the equation, you will be a happier human being. Nothing is ever perfect. Always remember that. Perfection is an illusion. So don't strive for it, but remember that once you hit it, it should be different, because as you mature, your concept of perfection changes. Even in music, in recording, all that. It's just like, so don't be afraid to let things go. They don't work, you drop them. Don't be afraid to try things forever, because you want them to work, you might make them work. But mostly, play well with others, and keep your ears and eyes always open. That's what I would say. That's it.
Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Yes,
Really.
anytime.
Anytime.
We're not going that far back in history to discuss dinosaurs. We're just going to be discussing Renaissance stuff.